Ever feel like you're just drowning in research papers? I think we've all been there. Well, a revolution is happening right now in labs and libraries everywhere. We're talking about a whole new wave of AI assistants, and they are completely changing the game for how we do academic research. I mean, everything from finding new papers to actually making sense of them. Okay, but before we jump into the cool new solutions, let's just talk about the problem. And it's a problem that, every single student, every researcher, heck, anyone who's just curious about something knows all too well. It's that feeling of being totally and completely lost in a sea of information.
Sound familiar? I bet it does. You start with just one simple question. You do a search, and then, bam! Suddenly, you're drowning in 100 open tabs, PDFs stacked a mile high, and endless citations. It's just so overwhelming, right? And super inefficient. It really feels like you're just spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere.
And this really gets to the heart of the frustration. I mean, let's be honest. The old way of doing research, it's kind of broken. You type in a keyword and you get buried in thousands of results. And most of it, it's just noise. So now you have to spend hours, literally hours, sifting through it all, checking citations one by one. And the worst part? In that giant messy list, it is so easy to miss those hidden connections between papers, or to completely miss the brand new research that could change everything.
But what if there was a better way? Well, there is. A whole new class of tools is popping up, designed specifically to cut through all that noise and basically act as your personal research assistant. So let's dive in and see how they actually work.
All right, so the magic behind these new tools, the core tech that makes them so powerful, is something called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or for short, RAG. The best way to think about it is like it's an open book exam for the AI. So instead of just making stuff up, a RAG system first goes and looks up the information from a trusted source, like a huge database of research papers. It retrieves the real facts, and only then does it generate an answer based on what it found. It's this two-step process that is absolutely key to avoiding those, dreaded AI hallucinations. And this whole approach completely changes how we search for things. We're finally moving away from those old, rigid keyword searches that only find exact word matches. The new way? It's called semantic search. And what that means is it actually understands the meaning, the concepts behind your question. So let's say a paper uses slightly different words. It doesn't matter. The AI is smart enough to find it anyway, which gives you way more focused, context-aware results. Okay, so you've got this whole new wave of AI assistants. The big question is pretty obvious. Which one is right for you? Well, it really depends on what you're trying to do, on the task at hand. So let's break down some of the most popular tools out there. Think of this as your starting point, your guide to building your own AI research toolkit. So, for example, if you're doing a huge literature review, tools like Zaya or Elicit are honestly lifesavers. They can automatically pull the key findings from a bunch of papers and pop them into a neat, organized table. So cool. Or maybe you need to check if a source is reliable. Scite is your best friend. It shows you exactly how a paper is being cited. Are other scientists supporting it, challenging it? It's all there. For just quick, solid answers with all of the sources attached, Perplexity AI is fantastic. But what if you need to explore a whole new field from scratch? Well, that's where the visual tools really shine. Yeah, let's stick with that last point for a second, because this is really cool. Sometimes just a long list of papers, it doesn't cut it, right? To really get how ideas connect, you've got to see the bigger picture. This is where tools like Research Rabbit or Connected Papers come in. They literally transform the whole discovery process into a visual exploration. So instead of a boring old list, they generate this amazing interactive graph. And all of a sudden, you can see everything. You can see which papers are the most influential, how different research topics clump together, and this is huge. You can even find brand new work that doesn't have a lot of citations yet. It's just a completely intuitive way to find those connections you would almost certainly miss any other way. Okay, let's pause here for a reality check. These tools are incredibly powerful, no doubt about it, but they are not magic wands. Think of them as assistants, not as replacements for your own brain, for your own critical thinking. And that means using them responsibly. Well, that's absolutely non-negotiable. And this quote from a librarian at the University of British Columbia, it just says it perfectly. Using these AI tools without understanding their limits, what's really going on inside that black box, you can make some serious mistakes. You, the researcher, have to stay in the driver's seat. You're the expert here. So the question is, how do we use them ethically? Well, the publisher Wiley put together a really great framework. It's basically 3 simple principles. Number 1,
Be transparent. Just say which AI tools you used and what you use them for. Simple. Number 2, accountability is human. You, the researcher, are always responsible for the accuracy of the work, not the AI. And number 3, this is a huge one for reviewers. Never, ever upload someone else's unpublished manuscript into an AI. You've got to protect their confidentiality and their IP.
And believe it or not, this is really just the beginning. We're not just talking about tools that make individual researchers a little bit faster. No, this is much bigger. What we're seeing is a fundamental reshaping of the entire ecosystem of how knowledge gets created, shared, and even valued. And the speed of this change, it is just staggering. Check out this number. A recent study found that the percentage of researchers using AI in their work is going to jump from 57% to an incredible 84% in just 1 year. Think about that. In a single year, AI has gone from being kind of a niche tool to a standard part of the research process for almost everyone. And what's really fascinating to me is that we're starting to see new, more sustainable business models pop up around all this. For instance, companies like Zendy are pioneering these revenue-sharing partnerships. So now, when an AI uses content from a publisher, that publisher actually gets paid. This is a game changer. It means the people who create the knowledge are rewarded for it, and it also means that AI tools get licensed up-to-date content, which of course benefits everyone in the whole system. So, as we wrap all this up, I want to leave you with the really big question. We have these incredible new tools that let us synthesize and connect knowledge on a scale we've never seen before. So will they just make us faster at doing the same old work, or will they empower us to see entirely new connections, to ask fundamentally different kinds of questions, and to unlock brand new frontiers of discovery? You know, that's a future that's still being written, and it's going to be exciting to watch.